the Academy of Interactive Arts Sciences, IAS, and the Entertainment Software Association, ASA, announced that the annual Into Pixel video game art exhibit is now accepting submissions for its 16th collection. As explained in a press release, the 2019 Into the Pixel collection will premiere at this year's E3, taking place in Los Angeles from June 11th to the 13th. Video game artists and developers interested in submitting their in-game art concept art, including character, environmental landscape or other artwork used in the creation of games, for consideration can do so here until Monday, April 29th.
2019
Jurists for the collection include industry veterans or adult independent, Matt Hall, Zynga Rising Tide Games, Patricia Lanza, independent, Jane Elf, Glenn Phillips, Getty Institute, Bob Bradley, Big Red Button Entertainment, and Seth Spotling, Blizzard Entertainment. It's worth noting that selected works chosen to be included in the collection will be auctioned off on the week of E3, with proceeds benefiting the AS Foundation and ASI Foundation. BioWare's online loot shooter Anthem seems to be suffering from crash issues that knock players' entire console out of commission, at least according to numerous reports on Reddit and its own website. It's a fairly severe issue in a high-profile game like BioWare's latest, and one that unfortunately comes during an already turbulent launch period. Some of the crashes reported are hitting systems harder than those that close a game with an error message. A handful of Anthem players say that their PS4 will shut down completely as if someone unplugged the system and displayed an improper shutdown when it boots back up. According to Kotaku, at least one player that reached out to the publication said an Anthem crash fully bricked their PS4 system. A handful of public posts have recorded similar issues since the game's launch. One from a week ago, on its bug reporting site, says that closing the game on PS4 caused their system to suddenly shut down months and that the console was unresponsive to attempts to power it back on until they physically disconnected and reconnected its power source. Other forum users echo this in the replies, and the post is not the only one out there by any means. While Anthem's official channels have not directly addressed this specific issue quite yet, the game's community team has urged players experiencing issues to reach out and file a ticket on its bug reporting forum. Everything that has been reported is being tracked, and the team is working on fixing issues as quickly as possible, tweeted Global CMJ's Stacy Anderson. Some issues will be addressed faster than others with hot fixes. Others require a client update which take longer to get ready. Capcom says the demo for its upcoming remake of Resident Evil 2 was downloaded over 3 million times since it went live on January 11th. The demo itself has an interesting quirk, dubbed the one-shot demo. The short slice of Resident Evil 2 gives players only 30 minutes to make their way through the enemies and puzzles in the game's early level. Once that 30-minute run is over, players cannot start the demo again on that same account. The downside to that limitation, however, is, inevitably, players quickly found ways around it that likely have inflated that 3 million download figure. Console players can make additional accounts to get a second, a third, or fourth shot, while PC players have found ways to trick the demo into allowing additional plays. Another interesting read on the demo comes from data shared on Capcom's Resident Evil Net website. Of those 3 million downloads, roughly 2.5 million players opted to enable Ringnet's Play Data Tracker, and help get more data on the demo's completion. For instance, only about 26% of those 5 million players completed the demo within the time limit. In 2 weeks, we are going to be right in the middle of the 2019 Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, and this year organizers are excited to once again present a special event that will guide you through how to get the most from your time at the show. It's called GD 101, and it's taking place on Tuesday, March 19th, 2 weeks from today, at 6 p.m. Pacific on the second floor of the Moscone Convention Center's West Hall. Whether it's your first time at GD, or just the first time talking about your new game, you want to attend this crash course on how to get the most out of your experience by learning the ins and outs of the show, from choosing sessions, to networking, to simply how to get around. GD is a big event with lots to do, and we are here to help you prioritize what you really want to get out of the show, while getting all the basics done in the process. Plus, there is a networking event right after the session. For more details on this and all the other great sessions taking place at the show, make sure to head over to THEONLINEGDC 2019 session scheduler. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. The newly unveiled Wolfenstein Youngblood is taking the Nazi hunting franchise into co-op territory, and publisher Bethesda Softworks has come up with a novel way to ensure friends can play together. The deluxe edition of the shooter will come with a buddy pass that can be shared with a friend who will then get to experience the entirety of the game for free, as long as they are playing alongside the owner. What's more, the buddy pass can be shared with as many people as the owner chooses, although they will only be able to play with one friend at once, which makes sense given Youngblood's co-op is built for 2 players. Long story short, Bethesda has basically a reimagined glory days of split-screen chaos of the Internet age, with the buddy pass letting the COUPLEOF post-play same game without each having to purchase a copy. Of course, it's also a decent marketing ploy in itself, and Bethesda will probably be hoping a fair few of those buddy pass players head out and buy their own copy of Youngblood. I keep writing about deep gameplay and how it needs complex verbs, mechanisms that go beyond probabilities, progress bars and damage numbers. But how exactly do those systems work then? This article will explore one possible answer to this question. Space gameplay can get strategically interesting when you cannot simply calculate everything, when factors are involved that cannot, or at least not easily, be turned into some kind of points or score. If that would be possible, you would basically be facing a math puzzle, of course, that might be interesting in itself, but rather in terms of computing the correct solution, and not so much in terms of intuition and decision-making. Should the latter elements be supposed to be the game's core, offering strong spatial interactions can go a long way in moving it away from flat, arithmetic positioning and movement in space, or even aspects such as momentum or inertia are essentially complex resources that can, quite literally, be played with. Obviously they are ultimately based on math as well, but a form of math that is both more complex than mere subtraction, and yet also intuitively accessible for human beings. This base complexity can furthermore be used to foster an emergent interplay between gameplay elements, and thereby create even more depth, without having to resort to more and more convoluted math. Of course it works in the game.
i.e.
The actions players are able to perform have to be tightly connected to the game's spatial structure, so they can properly support it and give it meaning. Dealing damage, filling bars, are the much-loved mass extermination of actors in the game world usually do not belong in this category. The same goes for mere asset tourism. The following sections will take a look at some concrete examples on how to do it better. The games described below offer strongly spatial possibilities of interaction and consistently manage to align the design of all gameplay elements in support of this aspect. In Heat Signature you enter procedurally generated spaceships, and by making use of a diverse set of gadgets,